Apologies. Hello. If you don't know me yet, my name is Linnell, and I do live on cruise ships. I'm here in Miami, um, going in between cruises, and I have to take a moment to adjust my phone because I have this all set up to go live. And for some reason, YouTube is not allowing me to go horizontally. So either I'm going to be holding this phone the whole time and you're going to be seeing my shaky hand, which nobody wants to see, or I need to take a moment and fix my phone stand. So apologies. And I'll just chit chat a little bit while I'm trying to fix this orientation of the cell phone. I am here. You can see behind me is Carnival Spirit, which I'm getting ready to get on and take from Miami to Seattle, and still working on it. I just got off of, where's that ship? Okay, that ship is Carnival Magic. I was there for 2 sailings, a 6-day and an 8-day. Don't ask me where we went. I know where we went. We went to Amber Cove because I know that we had bad weather. We were supposed to go there the 1st day and we ended up going there the 7th day. And I still didn't get off. I've been to Amber Cove lots of times. I love it there, but we also went to St. Martin, which I'm pissed at myself because I actually was sick. So I did a little video on the membership, and we're going to talk about gratuities after I get this stand set up. I'm just rambling right now. Apologies. I did a video on the membership of how I had old lady problems and I was sick. I actually gave the wrong accountability in that video. I said that I was okay the first 3 days. I was not. I was okay the 1st day, and then I was okay the 2nd day. And I think that's when that's when I was doing a ship tour and I ran into the comedian, Derek Eason, on day 2. Yeah, day 2. And then I went to his show the next day. But then after that, I was sick almost the entire cruise. Okay, I think I got this set. Yay! I was sick almost the entire cruise. And hi, everybody. I'm going to say the hellos and all that after I talk about the gratuities. But just a little info ahead of time for anyone who's new and trying to figure out what's going on. So I was sick after day 2 or 3, I can't remember. And then I was sick almost to the last day of the cruise. So they count the 1st day. It was an 8-day cruise. They count the 1st day, then we have 7 more days. And then today they count as day 9. They don't count today as a day of sailing. So I was okay 100% yesterday. Day 8, I was all over that ship. I was about 95% on day 7. Day 2 through 6, I was out of it. I was sick. Nobody wants to hear about that, but yeah. This is, don't feel bad for me. I'm okay. I'm healthy, as you can see. This is just a normal part of life. I feel bad when it happens to people who are on vacation, but this is not vacation for me. This is everyday life. So yeah, it was one of those things. Sometimes you get sick, you got to take off a week from work, and or if you're retired like me, you got to take off a week from retirement. So yeah, today I'm 100%, and I am not normally on CP time. I know that's a thing, but that ain't normally me. I've done that a few times myself. But the reason why I'm starting so late is because Carnival Magic actually got back late. And I don't think anyone's here for that, but just in case you're looking to see what the heck is going on with your ship or your family ship, whether they're getting ready to get on or getting off or whatever the case may be, you in Miami and just trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, our ship, I never did. I kept asking around. They never said why, but we got back like an hour later than what we were planning. So I was planning to get off the ship about an hour earlier than what I did. And we still don't know why. We know that there is the Ultra, I'm probably saying it wrong, but the Ultra Music Festival over in Bayside, which is the closest area to the port. And they announced, I think towards the end of day 8 and the end of day 8, that yeah, when you leave this ship, if you are driving or wherever the case may be, it's going to be madhouse out there, because this is one of their, they said it's their most popular concert in Miami. I don't know if Miami as a whole or the Bayside area of Miami, but when so I was on this ship Magic for 6 days and then 8 days, and then I normally do back to back, but I got off because my bathing suit ripped and I wanted to go and find a bathing suit, which I didn't find. But on my way back, I noticed at Bayside that they had 2 giant amphitheaters that they were building, and I wanted to bring that to you in a video, and I recorded it, but unfortunately my CD got corrupt. So drive, whatever it's called, the little disc in the GoPro, it got corrupt, so I won't be able to bring that to you. Unfortunately, those things happen. But yeah, I was like, oh, they got this big old bandstand. It was huge too. So if you live in Miami area, you're traveling over here, that's what those are. It's the Ultra Music Festival. I kind of looked up to see who was performing in it. You can Google it. I have no idea who those people are and or anything like that. Sorry if that's your jam. I just don't know them. But they also on the ship that getting off, going to the airports is going to be mad, so make sure you bring your patience when you get off the ship. They also said that Day Carnival was bringing on extra shuttles. Why they would need extra, I don't know. Maybe they're not going to fill them all up, but they're bringing extra shuttles to get people from the ship to both airports, to MIA and FLL, so Miami and Fort Lauderdale. They said that the city had told the cruise ships that traffic was going to be diverted, and it was going to be a madhouse, and blah, 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 blah. So that's what's happening right now. I was going to go back into Miami and maybe do some shopping or just do some filming so you as a viewer could see what's happening in these streets. But I'm not going in that madhouse. And I was so happy when I got off. Let me see if I can lift it up. When I got off, and I was like, I'm wondering how far, and I'm asking them at guest services, you know, what terminal we're going to be in, because we came back to a terminal that we weren't parked in. So be aware of that. When you take a cruise, you may go to a cruise terminal, park your car, pay all this money, and you're like, oh, we real close. We just walking right across the street. And no, they moved the whole ship. So when you get off, it's a whole nother thing. I don't have that because I don't have a car. But they said that we got on Terminal F, and when they dropped us off, we were at Terminal D. And I was not sure how far apart those were, but they did say, I feel the wind blowing, but I don't hear it, so I hope it's okay for you. I did hear them say that they do have shuttles that will take you from the new terminal back to Terminal F, to where everyone was parked at. No big deal, but of course that means bring extra patience, because you don't get to just get off the ship and walk across the street like you were planning. So I was totally confused. Is the ship I'm getting on, is that going to be maybe at Terminal F? And no, guest services did check for me. They told me it would be at Terminal E, which we're here at Terminal D, and Carnival Spirit is right here at Terminal E. So I'm sitting here in some private lot that says do not park, and people are parking right in front of it anyway. So I'm in some private lot. Looks like Metro Link. But nobody's been over here, so I think I'm safe. And you can see here where the shuttle's right here for people on Carnival Magic. I tried to get back a little bit so you'd be able to hear me. You see the shuttles here. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to talk about gratuities, and then I got my handy dandy little blue stool here with all my earthly possessions. So I'm going to talk about gratuities, and please let me know your thoughts about gratuities, and we'll talk about it some. I can't get on Spirit until 2:30, so I got all the time in the world. I did pack me some lunch, some stuff from the buffet yesterday that doesn't need to be refrigerated. So, gratuities. When I started living on cruise ships, I put in my plan to pay gratuities along the way, and just to pay the standard gratuities of what the ship charges. Sure. Yeah. So it is in my budget to pay gratuities. It's not the crew. It's not the crew's concern that I live on ships, whether I'm on there for vacation or I'm there to live full time or whatever. That ain't none of their concern. They there to do a job. Gratuities is part of their pay and all that good stuff. So, and for the most part, I am a rule follower. I'm very left-brain, analytical, all that good stuff. And I'm not the type of person who likes to negotiate. When I buy cars, I don't like to go to the dealerships. I thank God for CarMax. Just tell me what the price is. Let me decide if that's what the value is to me or not, and let me just buy it. So yeah, I don't want to be negotiating and all that good stuff. So when it comes to stuff like gratuities, I pay what they say is the amount you should pay. I don't do it in advance. I don't do the prepaid gratuities, because the way that I'm doing this and living on cruise ships on a budget of $2,000 a month for the cruises and another $500, that's another story. You can look all that up on the channel if you want. But yeah, I pay the regular gratuities, and whatever they add on, that's what I plan to pay, and that is what I have done for the past year, right? What is this? It's March 30th. I took my first free cruise the first week of April. I think it was April 6th, so almost exactly a year to the day when I started this journey. I went full-time 4th of July. And if you ever watched hopefully you have seen my very first video, which will be linked when I'm done and I can fix all this, whatever happened. It'll be linked in the video description, but hopefully you see my very first video, because that explains it all. So when people come on the channel and ask, half the questions that they ask is answered in that very first video. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out before you ask any questions or, stir things up in your head and all the imaginations and stuff. I answered 99% of the questions in that first video. But in that first video, you see that I have estimated what the gratuities would be for me living on cruise ships. And I don't prepay them, because with Carnival, which is most of my cruises, free cruises I say, but they require a $200 minimum of $200 deposit in cruise fare. So most of my cruises are free, so there's no fare, but I do have to pay a minimum of $200. And so if I'm buying nothing else on the ship, then I'm going to use that $200 to pay for the gratuities, and then whatever is left, let's say I don't buy anything else, okay? I don't buy anything else on the ship. And whatever my gratuities is, 16 times 7. The amount that's left over, I can just go to a slot in the casino, put my card in, download that amount to the machine, cash it out, go over to the machine, get the cash, and we're done. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna buy other stuff on the ship other than gratuities, but that's the gist of it, just so you can picture what's going on. Over the last, I guess, 12 months now, I have actually changed my perspective on it. And I know that there are the big debates about, first of all, I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do with their money. You do you. Don't tell me what to do with my money. We're not here to watch nobody's pockets, okay? We're not here to tell cruisers if you can't afford gratuities, then don't go on a cruise. No. We're not about no, the cruise ship should be paying them a decent amount of salary where they don't need tips. this ain't what that video is about. I understand people are passionate about that, and if you feel that way, I'm not telling you not to feel that way. I'm just saying that's not what this video is about. That's not what I'm about. That's not what this channel is about. We ain't trying to clock nobody pockets and see what they spending money on. I am transparent because I want for people to see as an example of what they can do if they decide to have a life like this, or just take some cruises, what things kind of look like and cost. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you my perspective and how I feel about it. So I know that there are people on both ends of the spectrum, and more power to you. I love you regardless, okay? We can still be friends, okay? But anywho, so the thing is, and I might have to move because it was beautiful, but these clouds have got gray. I'm planning my escape. I'm gonna go right over here. It starts to rain. So my feeling has changed because I have asked, because I know that this is a big thing with cruisers. I have asked so many staff members, crew members on ships, how do they feel about it? What can they say about it? And none of them have ever disclosed anything good or bad about tips. They stick to whatever they have been taught and saying, yo, whatever, if you want to give something, that's great. If you don't, I still make a good salary. We don't talk about salaries. They stick to it to the T. And a few of them, I kind of felt like they were saying that because I had the cameras out. But even when I did not have my camera, my GoPro, my phone, I would just casually chit chat with them. We were talking about something else, and I kind of eased into the conversation. And I feel water, so we're gonna do a walk and talk over to that area over there. Yeah, so I kind of eased into the conversation with them, and they are not coming off script. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, y'all have trained y'all people well. They are not going to talk about them gratuities and stuff like that. So I have heard people say, well, tipping in general has gotten to be just out of hand. You know, you go to restaurants and you want to tip, it used to be 10%, then it went up to 15%, now it's 20%. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and it's like mandatory, like it's just added to your bill automatically and all this and that. I have my phone charger. Let me see if it needs to be charged. Let me start worrying about all that. Okay. So yeah, tipping in general has gotten out of hand. And I've also heard that I've also heard that now I don't know how true this is, but I've seen it going around Facebook, and I don't know if it's a real pay stub. I don't know if you've seen it or not either, but I've heard that there is a minimum salary that the cruise ships pay to their housekeepers and other staff like that. And let me see if I can put it in perspective and make it simple for somebody who hasn't heard about it. For those of you who are new, everything that I own is backpack and this carry-on. I travel super light. Let me wait till I get over here because this wind is blowing in my ear. I can't get myself think. Plus these trucks. Trying to go where I see the least amount of people. All right, I think I'll be good here. y'all hear me okay? We're not supposed to ask that when we're live, huh? I'm just concerned about the wind blowing. I don't actually feel the wind here, so I think we're good. Me and my best friend. This is my best friend. Alright, so okay, so I've heard this put out there that, let's say for instance, I don't know if it's true, but let's say for instance, Carnival pays me as a crew member or housekeeper $200 per day minimum. That's what I'm gonna make. And then when everybody in my area, my 30 rooms, because that's usually what they say, they have 30 rooms. Thanks, Joyful, I appreciate that. Glad you're able to hear. Okay, Carnival says me as a crew, as a housekeeper, I'm gonna make a minimum of $200 a day, and then as Linnell and Joy and Jen and Iris and Pam, as each of them put a gratuity on, let's say each of them left, I don't know, $15 a day. Now let's make it easy, $10 a day, and that was all 30 rooms. All 30 rooms ain't gonna leave no gratuities. That was all 30 rooms, so that's $300 for that day. Carnival told you that you're gonna make a minimum of $200. You got $300 from those gratuities. I don't gotta pay you nothing. So they say that Carnival is getting over by not having to pay. That's just an illustration, So they say Carnival or Royal or Celebrity or MSC, that they're getting over by not having to pay anything because the gratuities are paying the salaries of these people. Well, no, everybody don't pay gratuities, so even if it was half of the $200 minimum or whatever, that means we're paying $100 and Carnival's paying the other $100. I don't know if that's true. If it is true, I don't know if it's wrong. I have never owned a cruise ship company. The wind is blowing again. Go away, wind. Morally or whatever, I can't say. I'm not in that industry. I can have an opinion about it, and we all have one, right? But whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. As a crew member, I said I'm gonna take this job knowing I'm gonna make $200, a minimum of $200. I did make some extra, so as a crew member, should I complain because I should have got the 200 plus another 300? I don't know. That's up for debate, right? So some people say because of that they're not gonna pay gratuities or whatever. And some people say because of that they're going to only pay it in cash. And also because the money doesn't just go to one person. Supposedly it's split up. So sometimes you'll have more than just your room steward. You'll see them with a helper, or maybe they're off for a few days and somebody else comes in and takes their whatever. I don't know how they split it up. Same thing with the dining staff. I don't know how it's split up. I know whenever I've been on cruise ships, there's always a head wait for my table. There's always a head. Thank you, Slot Fever. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Financial donation. Sorry. Thank you for the financial donation. I know that I always have a head wait, like a assistant, and then somebody can bring bread. So there's a leader, and sometimes there's like a supervisor who comes over and says, "Hey, I just want to check, make sure everything's good." There's the maitre d'. I don't know how all those tips are split between all those people. If I was to stop doing the automatic, because I'm not really sure what Carnival and Royal and all them doing, but I want to make sure that these people get money, get the tips that I want to. And when I was researching tips, it's actually an acronym for to ensure prompt service, or something like that. Which to me is kind of backwards because we tip at the end to see if we did get prompt service or not. So it's kind of backwards, but anyway, that's another story. So after a year of listening to other people's opinions, doing automatic gratuities on my account, talking to different crew members and things like that, this is now philosophy. Love me, hate me, cuss me out in the comments. Don't cuss me out because they're not going. YouTube better not let cuss words show up in here. But anyway, so this is my philosophy now. Tips and gratuities are the same thing to me, okay? Um, yes, tips have gotten out of hand. When I go to one of my favorite places that kind of pissed me off was Jim and Nick's. I don't know how widespread they are, but they have them over in the Atlanta area. And I love going to Jim and Nick's. I love their barbecue. And when I go in, I tip really good. When I go through the drive-thru, I just want to pick up, just like if I'm going to McDonald's or somewhere. I'm just in a hurry, give me my food and let me go. They have on there a gratuity line. Listen, I'm getting this to go. Ain't nobody giving me no service. I'm not here to ensure prompt service. I'm going through a drive-thru. Why am I tipping you? And they put it on the credit card and make sure. Now, when you just regular going through a drive-thru, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever, even before they started all this crazy tipping stuff, because I used to go to Sonny's Barbecue all the time over in Orlando. If you pay, whether you pay credit card or cash, you pay it, they give you a receipt, you drive off. Now you go through the drive-thru, they don't just give you the receipt, they give you the receipt with an ink pen and a clipboard. It's almost like they want to intimidate you. I need your tip, or you better give me a tip, or whatever. And you got to do it at the beginning before they give you the food, because now in the back of my head, I'm wondering, well, if I don't give them a tip right now, what's going to happen to my food? Which you take a risk with, you know, eating out anyway. So, appreciate the financial contribution. Thank you so much. So yeah, I got really pissed at Jim and Nick's because I feel intimidated by you kind of forcing me to make a decision if I'm gonna add a tip on this credit card or not. So now when I go to Jim and Nick's, because I still love their barbecue, I just pay with cash. I ain't got to worry about no tip receipt. Maybe that's a cop out, maybe not. So, but then I think about when I go to different places, whether it's a restaurant, I need to stop rambling. Let's nip this in the bud. When I go to a restaurant or a hotel or whatever, how is that any different than a cruise ship? Yes, it's a luxury vacation, even though for me, again, they don't care, but even though for me it's not a luxury vacation, it is an affordable housing option that I am taking advantage of at this moment in my life, whether that be permanent until I die, whether that just be for another year or two, which is what I'm already booked out to, whether it be somewhere in between, I don't know. They don't care about that. So I'm gonna treat them just like I would if I was on vacation. But even on vacation, now the information that I know, how am I gonna treat this differently? When I go to a restaurant, I'm not leaving 20-30% for people who are just doing their regular job. No, if you're going above and beyond, and I have had some above and beyond places that I've gone to, I've left $50 tips on a $20 meal at places like, well, it wasn't really $20 meal, but let's say I went to PovertyToParadise over in Atlanta and the meal came to like $110. I've given them $50 as a tip. I was probably overly generous, but I'm just using that as an example because they went above and beyond. They didn't just, you know, hey, may I take your order, bring me my food. No, they recommended things. They were pleasant. They made sure, you know, came back and checked on me to see if the food was the right temperature. Did I like it or did I want to replace it? That's going above and beyond. And I want to incentivize people like that to please be here the next time I come, because I had such a great experience. I want to see you again when I come back. And then I've had regular experiences where people just, you know, hey, let me take your order, okay, and then I never see them again until it's time for the check. Why am I giving them people extra tips? Why am I even giving them a tip at all? So when on land, I am adjusting if I'm even giving a tip, if I'm giving a regular 10 to 20%, if I'm giving above and beyond. I want to do the same thing on cruise ships. Same thing in a hotel. I'm not leaving, and so there's a breakdown of, you can go online and check out the breakdown of any gratuity. So Carnival is $16 a day, Royal I think is 17 or 18 a day or something like that. You can go and see the breakdown of this much goes to the housekeeping, this much goes to dining, this much goes to other. But when I go to a hotel, even if which they don't clean your room every day anymore, but even if they were cleaning my room every day, I'm not leaving them no $10, $15 a day. I don't know what hotels y'all living in, but that's not my lifestyle. Maybe that's some other hotel that people live in. But maybe I'm leaving $2 or $3 a day as a tip for a hotel, things like that. Same thing for meals. Okay, yeah, for dining staff on a cruise ship, this is not eating at McDonald's or Burger King. This is eating at a Papados or a my type restaurant, a Longhorn, or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave more than maybe $2, $3 a day. But that's where I am right now. Long story short, I have decided I'm not leaving the automatic gratuity on the bill anymore. That's my preference. Again, I ain't telling you what to do. I am going to go to guest services, off, and then I'm going to decide, experience a crew member if I want to tip them or not. Some of them are automatic. I don't have a choice. If I order room service, if I order a drink that's not a free drink, they're automatically going to add that 18% gratuity. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if I did have a problem with it, just don't order that stuff, right? You got no choice. They're gonna put it on whether you like it or not. But as far as housekeeping and restaurants and stuff like that, so as an example only, every experience is going to be different. But this last cruise I was on, the first leg of the cruise, for me, this is different, and I'm not saying for you to do this, but since I've been living on cruise ships, I tell the room steward, please do not clean my room. Give me, and if it's a 6-day cruise, I ask them to give me 6 washcloths and a chair with a back to it, and sometimes ice. Other than that, the time that you were going to use to clean my room, take that to spruce up somebody else's room or take a longer break or whatever the case may be. I don't need towel animals. I don't need you to clean my room every day. If I need anything, I will call you, because they always give you a card with their number on it. I'll call you if I need my laundry or the trash change, if I need more towels swapped out or whatever the case may be. And as long as they are friendly, nice, and treat me like I want to be treated, I'm going to give them the gratuity that I would give them even if they were cleaning the room every day. So for instance, like this last cruise, which was 8 days, I gave the guy $50, the room steward. But I was sick for the whole time. I didn't go into the main dining room at all. Now, I was at the same table in that cruise before on the 6th day. They were fairly good. They weren't great, but they were fairly good. And I think I ended up giving them $10 each. I didn't go in the dining room every night. Again, that's not their fault whether I come in the dining room or not, but that was just how much I decided to give. Whether that was too much or too little, that's only for me to say. That's between me and God and I guess them, right? But they were happy about it. If I went back and if I went back to the dining room and I stayed there ate there all 8 evenings, and they gave really good service, I'm sure I would have. As a matter of fact, I had in my head that I was going to give them $50 each, but once I got sick, that didn't happen. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to take them because I wasn't in there. Hopefully they use that time to give extra service to the other people who were there. It's not their fault that I was sick, but I didn't get service. Most of the time I did order a lot of room service because I was sick, and a lot of times I just didn't eat, or I just walked to a Lido deck, got me some wheat bread and ginger ale, and went back to the cabin. So yeah, the only tipping I did outside of the cabin steward was on the room service and the drink receipt. So that's my new take on gratuities. I hope I didn't offend anybody. If I did, I'm sorry. That's just who I am. Take me or leave me. And with that, I'm going to go and see if I can catch up on these comments. And let's see what you have to say about it. Looks like one of the buses to the airport is here. Yeah, this is still the Carnival Magic. Alright, let's see. Jennifer, good morning. Alexis, excited. Manuel, good morning. Rebecca, hello. Hi, everybody. For the sake of time, and because this is gonna end up doing a video that I'm sure other people will watch. Couldn't make it to the live. I'm not gonna call out all the names, but just know that I appreciate all of you. Ooh, Miami. And they're supposed to be having this mega concert. God, what you doing? Give us some good weather so that people can enjoy that concert. What time is 11:16? These clouds are getting darker and darker. It looks like it's like 6 or 7 in the evening over here. Do what you have to do. Yep. And I'll say this too while I'm scrolling through just to look to see if there's any questions. Hey, Miss Ann, yes, I was supposed to be on YouTube. I lost my train of thought just like that. Oh, rest assured, this has nothing to do with whether or not I can afford it. Like I said, it's already in my budget to pay gratuities. So whether I go higher or lower, I still have to stay within my budget of an average of how much I plan to spend each month on each cruise. So it's not to, and I've never judged anybody. I've gone on cruises with people who went and took their gratuities totally off. And I never judged them. It's like, oh, you're just being cheap or nothing like that. Sometimes they just let me know, hey, it took everything out of me to get on this cruise ship, and I know I should be paying gratuities, but I really don't have the money. Now, I'm going to look at you side-eyed if you say that, and then you go to the casino. Or if you find all these souvenirs, I'm going to look at you side-eyed. I ain't going to say nothing, but in my head, I'm going to be judging you. But I ain't going to say nothing out loud. But it's some people who do. They scraped up whatever money they could to get on the cruise ship, and they really cannot afford gratuities or anything else. Can you review about the membership? Sure. The membership is different rates. I'm going to talk about that a little bit while I slow down. It's different rates just on if you, mainly it was because my mentors, and I have a few mentors, were either doing it or suggested that I do it to bring in additional revenue only because I have enough revenue income coming in to cover my stuff. I'm just doing YouTube so I can share this and also, as my kids would say, to keep me busy, right? I've never been lonely. I've never been bored on a cruise ship, and I think that's probably because I am doing YouTube. But I also don't want to take money out of my pocket to learn classes and things like that to get better at it. But in my nature is to always do better and get better. So I'm using the membership fund as a source to pay for different classes. I just finished a Canva class, and it's teaching me it taught me how to add some more different things. Like if I'm doing a talking head video, that's me sitting in the cabin and I'm just talking for 30, 45 minutes. Sometimes it gets your attention better if you're watching at home on your TV or whatever the case may be. If every minute or two I throw in some B-roll, and so I'm learning how to do that in the videos. As an example, on my way to Royal Caribbean in Galveston, woo! You might be passing my auntie. She's over there in Galveston. I think she's getting off the ship probably today. Do you get seasick? I've never in my life gotten seasick. I think I took my first cruise with husband and kids back in, I can't remember if it was 2001, 2004, but I've never ever gotten seasick. Sunglasses, I don't have sunglasses. I have bifocals, and they do transition. So if I'm in the sunlight, they do get darker to kind of protect my eyes. But I'm jealous because I never get to be able to wear sunglasses. Not really. I probably wouldn't even wear sunglasses if I didn't have these. I don't even wear jewelry. I wear my mom with me, but I don't even wear jewelry. I'm just not that type of person. And I wear earrings because, okay, I probably wouldn't even be wearing earrings, but a friend of mine, let's just say, I ain't gonna say it because I'm gonna be nice, but I'm just gonna say her mom told her, she told me that her mom told her to never leave the house without earrings. Fill in the blanks. So I never leave the house without earrings. Or I try not to. If I'm sick, I don't care. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Good thing you didn't make plans to go to the festival. I don't know who the people are anyway. If you are new to the channel or you still learning who I am, 9 times out of 10, unless it's cruise ship music or something from the, I ain't gonna even say 70s, because I was what, 10? But something from the 80s, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, New Edition, Elder Barge, unless it's something from cruise ships from when I was a teenager. I don't know any music unless it's contemporary gospel and CC Winans. CC Winans is my favorite artist. Yeah, I don't know none of those people in the festival. Hubby and I are thinking of retiring to cruise life in 2 years. I was just telling, oh, the festival ends tonight. Oh, okay. I was just telling somebody we were walking out in line that my goal is in the next 5 years, people are going to be living on cruise ships. It's going to be a normal thing. It's not going to be something wild and crazy. There were already other people who've been doing it for decades now. I'm not the first one. I won't be the last, but not very many people are talking about it on social media. So I know there's I can never remember their names, but I just been watching their channel. The couple that lives on Philippines. And there's some other ones out there, Kirk Tory Story. They've been on fishing for a while. But yeah, it's gonna be normal. Just like van life is normal now. A few people are like, what? But a lot of people know that's normal. Living in vans, living in RVs, that's normal. Yes, like this chat, there's 108 on here, but only 22 likes. And like it only because we need to get the word out. It doesn't get me any more revenue or anything like that, but getting the word out to other people is really helpful. Well, I guess in a way it does. If other people watch, then I do get more views, which is how I get paid from views. So yeah, thanks Jennifer. Was that Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer. Club music DJs. I'm about to start cruising again. Let's go. Are you on Carnival Celebration on June 22nd? No. June 22nd. I was going to answer that, but no. You need to be in the membership to know where I will be at on June 22nd. It will tell you. Johnny Howard. Just check and see if you have any questions. I ain't in no hurry. If you gotta go run, go take care of some errands and come back. I'll probably be here for a hot minute. Miss Linda been on over 20 cruises. Going on a cruise next month in April. Woo woo! Eternity with Jesus. You know I love that screen name. I know I try not to talk about. My pastor told me don't talk about finances. Nah, I gotta talk about finances here. Sex, religion, and politics. But as a Christian, it's just gonna come out sometimes. Gotta talk about Jesus. Agree. All right. Agree. I will pay the standard, and if someone did above and beyond, or just was super amazing, I would give them extra towards the end of each leg of the cruise. Also, we'll see if they need to get anything in port if they can't get off. Okay, so you just reminded me I wanted to talk about something else. And another thing is that I didn't mention. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me because that bus is pretty loud. Another thing people talk about. Well, what about the people in the background when you do the auto gratuities? There's people behind the scenes that get tips because those tips get spread out to other people. People behind the scenes who get tips. When you just give it to the room steward or just give cash to the head waiter or the 3 people that you see, there's other people on the Lido deck who need to get their tips. There's other people. What about the cook and all those people? Listen, I ain't about that life. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, and don't tell me what to do with mine. But when I go to a restaurant, I'm not trying to tip the person who's cleaning the table and the maitre d' and the chef, and all those people, 9 times out of 10, they don't get the $2.35. I don't know what it is. I'm making that up. The $2.35 salary that the waiter or waitress normally gets. When I go to a regular restaurant, I'm not trying to tip everybody. That's not my job. That's not my thought process. And the same thing on a cruise ship. I'm not trying to tip everybody on this cruise ship. I'm trying to tip the people who are in front of me who gave me excellent service. That is what a gratuity is for, because you gave me excellent service. Now, if you behind the scenes and you helping the housekeeper, you helping the waiter or whatever. My sister, I've never been a waitress before, but my sister used to say, yeah, so she could get her food out. She worked in, I ain't gonna say what restaurant, but she worked in a few restaurants. But she'd be like, yeah, I give my cook a few extra dollars so I can make sure I get my food. I cook it in the other waitresses. Listen, y'all work that out amongst y'all. I'm gonna give the extra of what value I saw fit. And if you share it with the rest of your team behind the scenes, that's fine. But I'm not here to try to figure out who all behind the scenes needs to be tipped, because that's not the purpose of me getting a tip or a gratuity. The purpose is because I want to just say an extra thank you. You already get the salary. If you don't, that's between you and your job. I don't got nothing to do with that. Okay? But you already getting the salary more than likely. This is just me saying, wow, you went above and beyond, and I appreciate it, you know? Also, it doesn't always have to be those same people. I have given gratuities. I gave a $50 gratuity to the hostess on Carnival Dream. Hope I get her in trouble. It's too late night live. But my girl, she knows who she is. She has a link to this channel. I don't know if she's watching or not. But my girl, you know who you are. You treated me with so much respect, and you did not have to, but I did not show up for dinner. You came looking for me when I came the next day. You asked me how I was doing, what had happened to me. Almost, not every day, but almost every day, you said hey to me. You gave me a friendly smile. You went, to me, that was above and beyond. You weren't even my waitress. How you remember my name after the very first day, I have no idea. And it wasn't just me. I saw her doing that with a lot of other people. But yeah, by the end of the cruise, I ended up, hooking her up. And have I done that with anybody else on the cruise? If it comes to mind, I'll bring it out and say something about it. I can't think of anyone else at the moment, but yeah, this just have to be the usual suspects that we're used to. So sometimes a financial contribution saying thanks, I appreciate you, it goes a long way. You never know what that person is going through, and especially if I'm gonna say it the way I feel it, especially if God put it on your heart to do it. We already know. We already know. Just do it. Don't even question it. It's gonna come back to you tenfold. As a matter of fact, that time that, anyway, that's a different story. I don't want to get off subject. Okay. All right, let's just stick to something. I can ramble. Also, we'll see if they need me to get anything important that they can get off, since I know I'll see them later. Jen Nixon, I don't know how that has worked for you. I've done that probably about 10 times, and after the 10th, no, they always say no. They always say no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. After the 10th time, I stopped asking, because I'm like, if I was in their shoes, I don't need you to get me nothing. We get to get off in port every so often or whatever. Just hook me up so when I get off, I can get my own stuff. I'm expecting to say, give me some, how we are, give me some hot Cheetos, or while you off, can you check on such and such, They always say no. Again, I don't know if it's that spiel that they get from, their training and stuff like that, but they always say no. So I've stopped asking. I don't know, maybe we put that out there because it's meant for me to maybe ask a few more times, but I don't know how that's worked for me, but it never worked for me. It never worked for me. And I always say, I'm just getting off of Amber Cove. I'm going over to they have a cruise in Amber Cove. You get off and you go to the right. They have a cruise. I I don't know what they call it. I'm gonna call it a cruise store. But it's, you go to the right, past the pool, under the spot where you get off the zip line. It's kind of hidden, but there's little signs that say cruise. I'll make it up, cruise store. All of those signs. Anybody can shop there, but it's mainly there for the pool. You see them over there. They take their smoke breaks and there's a volleyball there. I don't know if somebody can volleyball, but anyway, Amber Cove. And I say, I'm just going over to the cruise thing, get off, I'm getting me some lotion, and I'm getting back home. Which I don't know why, because they lotion this is as it is on the ship. Anyway, they still say no. It's no, thank you, I got everything, I'm fine. So, happy anniversary. Thank you, Ari girl, and LaShawn, and Laura, and Lexus, and everybody. Happy Sunday, Miss Bob. I don't prepay either. No. And also because, oh no, the bus not get by me. Let me scroll down. Can y'all still hear me? Where's the bus? Exotic bus is no. Okay, so the buses are not. I'm going to hear the bus. Can I move over so? Let me see if y'all can still hear me. Let's see if I can come back to you. If y'all can still hear me, I'm going to stay put. If not, I'll try to hear you. But the buses are contracted by the cruise ships and their own loads. So I think it's a good sign. Let's see if you got the money for you guys. Thank you. Now, where I'm Somebody said, hey, auntie, and I don't recognize this name, so I don't know if you are really my niece or nephew, and I have a whole bunch of y'all. I'm going to send it to one or somebody just call it but hey, we did the calculation, it came a bit over 10,000 for 365 nights. Sounds about what I calculated on the cruise portion only, not including hotels and gratuities. If I remember back to my very first video, gave me the envelopes from Stewards, you get $10 a day, and the same for our bartenders. Ooh, that's really generous. That's more generous than me. Like, wow. Nice. So, like the 8-day cruise, I think, yeah, I just gave them $50 for the 8-day cruise, and you would give them $80. So that, yeah, very nice, very generous. More than what you would have gotten, or she would have gotten from the cruise line, I'm sure. I made this here live on the show here. But my cruise, I mean, still, I'm sure you are following this channel. You are able to, I'm sure you will. All right. I use my onboard credit. Gratuities rarely have to be over $75. Don't forget, ring the doorbell. I've never heard it say it like that. Yes, say hello as you come in, so I can say hi back. Everybody using onboard credit too, so that you see from my Wi-Fi, since I used to stay in the camping. Yeah, until I was doing the YouTube, I was only maybe doing Wi-Fi once or twice during the cruise, but that usually eats up between, well, it was between the Wi-Fi, bottled water. I'm still buying bottled water. Friends, I think I'm about to give up. I think I wasted $80. I used this probably a total of 5 times. Y'all were so generous in letting me know what type of bottle I could get so I could stop spending $20 on bottled water. But I just ain't there. So, lazy people problem. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I know this don't have nothing about gratuities, but I'm making this here. So, I cannot drink the ship water. That's a whole other story. Because of the salt coated with it. And I was asking about Brita, filter waters, and all kind of other water bottles. And The other ones were not going to take out the sodium. They were not going to take out the minerals, which is what causes my feet to swell when I drink sugar water. I might go try out this to see, but I ended up with this Grail bottle, which is very compact. It's about the same size as my other bottle, but you see it has a filter on it. And you pour the water in here, the regular ship water or whatever. You're supposed to be able to take this, dip it in a lake somewhere. I ain't doing that. But that's supposed to be how awesome this is. Dip it in a lake somewhere, put some water in it, about this much water. If there's a line when you stop there, pull it up to it. Push this in, twist, and then you have the water. So you just pour it in a cup, you can drink it directly out of here. You can add ice, whatever. Adding ice to my regular water doesn't impact me enough. But anyway, you see how hard it is for me to twist it? Now imagine if there was water in here. I'm trying to live a life of ease. Ain't nobody got time for this. I got time for all this. And even if I do try to plan it ahead of time and do it in my cabin before I get to the dining room, I drink more water than this. So I'm only used it a few times and it's about as dry as a bone. And I think I'm gonna just have to give it up because I still keep buying bottled water. It was a nice thought, and I do this on purpose. When I first started this in the market, it was more like I can't think of the name of them, but the one where you put something in and the ice stays cold for 500 days, whatever, for 2 days. It was like that, not the Stanley one, the other one before Stanley. But how did I get on that subject? Oh, bottled water. So yeah, those were always taking up all my onboard credit, which is usually 200 or 500. 200 for my free privilege, which is probably 80% of my privilege, and 500 for some of my discounted cruises. But anyway, that's normally what my OBC goes towards. Not a full timer. I use OBC to help with securities. Just found your channel. Welcome aboard. Welcome. For anybody who just joined, I am sitting here in the port of Miami on this not so beautiful Miami day. Last time I went live was actually my first day of this segment. I was just getting on Carnival. Y'all, they still got that duct tape. I went by yesterday. They still got that duct tape up on the on deck 5, holding that whole glass panel together. Is it glass? I don't know. Looks like it's still glass. But it's still there. So 2 whole weeks. I was there for 6 days and then 8 days. 2 whole weeks. It still ain't fixed. Duct tape. Yeah, I'm sitting between the terminal. I forget the letters already. I think it's D and E. The terminal between Carnival Magic, where I just got off of, and Carnival Spirit, where I'm getting on Carnival Spirit. Don't come over here and say hey. I'll probably be at the it's probably gonna be no sailaway party. I don't know. For one, this is a journey, so I've never been on a journey cruise before. I don't know if they do sailaway parties or not. But with this weather, unless it clears up, and our all aboard is at 5. I've never had an all aboard that late. So I wonder if they even, by the time we are sailing away, it's gonna be dinner time. So I don't know if they even have a sailaway party. But no worries. Knock on wood. Don't get sick again. I'll be all over the ship. So if you know my face, I don't know yours. Come say hey. Hello, Mika. Hi, Mika. We met on Carnival Magic. Oh, really? That name does not ring a bell. I met some fabulous folks on Carnival Magic, and we took some pictures. So y'all gonna be up on YouTube soon. Not soon. I ain't never heard videos. I'm gonna try. Mika, why is that name not ringing a bell? Anywho, nice to meet you too. I'm sure it'll ring a bell later. Hopefully we take a picture together. Every little bit definitely helps, but people please tip